Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, my name is April Monique, and in today's video we're going to be talking all about the new Pat McGrath Mothership 10 Moonlit Seduction palette. Now, I know it's late to getting this video done, but for the first time ever, I actually had a problem with Pat McGrath's website. So I've been hearing people talk about how the shipping's been taking forever, and by the time they get their products, it's like 2 weeks, blah 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 blah. And I was like, oh, you know, I've ordered from Pat McGrath's site many of times, so I never really had a problem. Little did I know that was about to change. This palette took forever to get to me. I did order it on the Pat McGrath website just because I didn't want to wait any more time to do this video, and by the time you guys are watching this video, it has already came to Sephora. Like, you could go into Sephora and pick it up. So that was the whole reason why I was trying to stall, because I wanted to pick it up from Sephora, but that just wasn't happening. And the times were just so far apart from like when they were going to release in store, online, on the Pat McGrath website. It was just ridiculous. So I finally was just like, you know what, I'm not going to wait anymore. And I went ahead and I bought it online from Pat McGrath, and that was such a waste. So I recommend don't getting it from her website. I recommend either going in store or picking it up online from Sephora. But yeah, so like I said, this is the new palette. We're going to talk all about it today. We're going to do a review. We're going to do swatches. We're going to do comparisons. We're going to even do a one look, because I didn't have time to do more than one look. But if this is something that you guys enjoy, don't forget to give this a video thumbs up. And don't forget, if you're not already subscribed, I would love if you would subscribe to my channel. Now let's get into this video. Okay guys, let's do an eye look. So I already primed my eyelids, and I did go ahead and I used the About Face eyeshadow primer. It just looks like this. This is the Smoothing Shadow Fix eye primer. I really do like this primer so far on my eyelids, and you can get it on Ulta.com, and I have been seeing them bring this brand to some Ulta stores, so I would suggest checking out your local Ulta to see if they have it in store. But I just primed with that, and then I went ahead and I set a little bit of loose powder on it, just because I always have to set with powder anytime I do my eyeshadow. So I think before I did this look, I'm going to show like swatches and up close of the palette, but this is what the palette looks like. It is so beautiful. I cannot wait. And I don't know if I mentioned, I am going to do a halo look, just because for me that is the easiest, and that's what looks good on my eyelids. So you know I have to use this shade right here. This is like one of my favorite colored shades to use. If I could create my own palette, this definitely would have this shade in it. So I believe this one is called VR Sextasy. But first, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to take this shade right here, and this is in the shade Rosewood Romantique, and I just have the card right here just so that way I know what the names are. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take that one right there. Like I said, it's the shade Rosewood Romantique. This looks like that, and I'm gonna go ahead and use a brush. I'm gonna use this MAC 217 brush. It just looks like this. It's just a flat brush, but it's a little bit of fluff at the top. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just take a little bit of it like this onto my brush. Not that much fallout is coming out when I tap. When I did my finger swatches and my arm swatches, there was fallout, but when I do it with the brush, it doesn't really come out. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to press this shade right in my eye socket. I do have hooded eyes. I suggest if you're a beginner in eyeshadow and you don't know what the heck to do, I suggest watching Robert Welch, I think is his name. I've mentioned him before. Oh my god, he's such a good teacher, and that's how I was able to learn how to do my eyeshadow a little bit better. By no means I am not an expert or a perfectionist when it comes to eyeshadow. I don't really like the way I do my eyeshadow sometimes, but yeah, I highly suggest watching his video. I will try to link some of his videos that I watched to help me learn, but yeah, he's such a good person to watch. And I'm just going to go ahead, I'm just going to start placing this in my eye socket, and then kind of once I have it in my eye socket, bringing it a little bit forward, and I'm just going to build it up a little bit more. Once I get it down the first time, I'll probably just do one more dip into the eyeshadow. Just place it right there in the eye socket. And then I'm going to go ahead and take this Morphe M504 brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and blend it out. I do have some loose powder on it. I used this to put the loose powder on when I set my eyeshadow primer, but I'm just going to get a towel and do that. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then again, I'm going to take it inside the socket and just go back and forth windshield wiper motions. So that's one way you could do it, but I personally like doing it with just getting the 504, since I've already got the hang of how to do it with that brush and this brush. I like to just go in straight with the 504, dip into the transition color, and just go right into the socket and go back and forth. So now that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. I'm going to dip a little bit and then go back and forth. Okay, you guys, all I did off camera was go ahead and get this eye back to speed with this eye, and I just did a lot of back and forth blending going between the brushes. So the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to take this color right here, and this is the shade Extreme Nocturne, and it's just like a grayish dark color, almost like a brown, but not brown. It's more of a gray color. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take it on this Morphe M152 brush. It just looks like this, and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to go and put it in the inner and outer corners and just pack it in there very, very lightly, just so that way we can darken up the inner and outer part of my eye. Now be careful with this color because this one's pigmented. Pigmented. I'm going to have to find a smaller brush to blend it out, just because I think I grabbed too much of that shade. Okay, so this is what it looks like so far. So I did go a little bit more dramatic than I initially wanted to, just because this brown shade was super, super, super pigmented. So barely tap in your brush and be very, very careful with that color, just because if you go in too much, it's going to be just too much. It's going to look too dark. So it doesn't look bad. I'm going to go ahead and have to clean it at the bottom. I do have fallout, but it's okay. We could fix it. We'll fix it right now. I'll fix it a little bit off camera. But what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to take a little bit of glitter glue, and this is NYX glitter glue. You could use whatever kind of glitter glue you want. And then of course I'm going to use that shade right here, which is called what did I say, VR Sextasy. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just take a little bit of this glitter glue. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some in the back of my hand. Just needs to be like that much. And then I'm going to take my MAC, what is this, 242, just looks like this. And then I'm going to go ahead and just get a little bit of that glitter glue and just like tap it and then bring it down, just so that way I don't get too much on my brush. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this right in the middle where we didn't put any of the darker shade. And I'm going to bring it a little bit higher up. Just like that. And I like this brush because it's really good for hooded eyes. You could get right into the socket. Okay, and then once I have it laid down, I'm just going to go ahead and use the same brush. Take a little bit and then take the shade that we're going to use. Obviously, you could use your finger, but I want to use the brush. And this one's very chunky, so be careful when you are using your brush or your finger, whatever, just because it will. And don't swipe, pat it on. And then once you pat it on, then you could start swiping if you need to. But as you can tell, I'm just patting it and I don't need to swipe. And then since I want to get up here a little bit, I'll just wiggle the brush. Ooh, look at that. That looks so pretty. Now, of course, like I said, I'm not a perfectionist, so this is not perfect, but it's good enough. Ooh, that is really, really pretty. Ooh, I like this a lot. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, just so that way I can give it a little bit more brightness and pop, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my finger, and I think I want to take this shade right here. This is the shade Blitz Venus, just looks like this, and I'm just going to put a little bit in the center where I put that other shade. I'm not going to take no glitter glue or anything like that or spray. I'm just going to use my finger. Ooh. Look at that. It literally had it pop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, what did I do? I'm going to take the other side of this brush that I was using and just blend that a little bit. Yeah, a little bit of this goes a very long way. Oh my gosh, I like that. Look at that. Okay, so then what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to take my blending brush that I was using to blend out the inner and outer part. This is a Morphe M506, and no additional product. I'm just going to clean it up a little bit. I do recommend, if you're going to use this palette, do not do your base makeup and then your eyes. Do your eyes first and then your base, because you are going to get fallout and you don't want to ruin your makeup. But it doesn't look too bad on me, so I'm just going to leave it like that. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to very, very lightly, I'm going to take a little bit of this, since I don't think we used it. Yeah, I think I just swatched it, right? This is the shade Plum Cabaret. Just looks like this. And I'm going to go ahead and get a pencil brush, and I'm just going to put it underneath my under eye. Okay, so this is what it's looking like. Very smoky. What I'm going to go ahead and do is with another pencil brush, I'm probably going to use 2 different ones. Yeah, I'm going to use a Morphe M326 for my brow bone, and then the Refer number 3 for my inner corner. And I'm just going to take the same color. What do I want to do? Let's go ahead and use this color up here. This is the shade Skin Tone Glow. I want to see what that looks like, and then if I don't really care for it, I'll go ahead and add a little bit of, no, not that, maybe this one again. We'll see. So let me just go ahead and do that real quick. And then I'm also going to put on some an eye pencil. I think, yeah, I have it right here. Which one? I have 2 different ones. I'm going to use this black. I'm going to use NARS Via Veneto in my waterline. And then since I'm also here, I'll go ahead and I'll put on mascara. I'll use my mascara that I've been loving recently, and this is the Tarte Chubby mascara. Okay guys, this is what it looks like with the mascara and highlight, everything on. I actually really like the way this turned out. Hopefully you guys can tell what it looks like. Let me see if I can get my phone real quick. I don't know how to do it. But yeah, that just looks really, really pretty. I like that a lot. I really like the way this look came out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fix this eye, and then we will come back. Okay guys, let's compare some shades. I have Mothership's 1, 5, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The only ones I don't have are 2, 3, 4, and 6. So I'm missing 4 of the Mothership palettes. So let's start off with Mothership number 1. It looks like this, and this is the Subliminal palette. I want to go ahead and just see if there's any shades that we can compare to the new palette. Yeah, actually there is. Okay, so let's see if I could do this. This is going to be the new palette, and then this is going to be the old palette. Let's see if I could do it. Maybe like, no, that's not going to work. How am I going to compare them? Okay, let's do it like this. Sorry guys, I got to figure out a way to hold these palettes without breaking them. Okay, so this is what the palettes look like side by side. Hopefully you guys get, yeah, there you go, a good look. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do is, right off the bat, I only see maybe 1 shade that we can compare from the Subliminal palette. So I'm going to go ahead, and I see this shade in the Moonlit palette, this shade up here, the darker one, and this is the shade Extreme Nocturne. I'm going to compare that one to, what is this one called? I believe this one is called Depth. I'm going to do Depth, yes. And it's this one right here. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'm going to compare those two to see if they're anything alike. And the pan, they kind of do look different. This is what they look like on my finger. One looks cooler than the other. This is the one from the Moonlit palette, and then this one is from the Subliminal palette. And we'll go ahead and do the Moonlit palette right there, and then this one is the Subliminal palette. That did not swatch good, huh? Let me see if I can deepen it up. Yeah, you could totally tell difference. So this is the one from the Moonlit palette. This one has like a gray mauve tone color, and this one to me is straight up gray. So hopefully you guys can see the difference. Again, this is from the Moonlit palette, and then this one is from the Subliminal palette. And then just for the video's sake, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna compare, even though I know they're not the same. Let's do, I'm gonna do the one that I have on my eyelids today, this one right here, which is, what is it, VR Sextasy, this one right here. I'm gonna compare it to the one up here, and this one is called Blitz Moon, I believe. No, it's not. It is called Astral White. I know this is not gonna be a dupe because this one I feel like has more blue tones in it. I think you could tell when I move the palette. You could definitely see, yeah, right there, like you could see the blue shift, but we'll just go ahead and swatch those to see. Oh yeah, the one from the Moonlit palette is more of a purple. Yeah, you could tell on my fingers right there. This one's from the Moonlit, and then this is from Subliminal. Oh yeah, way different. And even the formulas are different. So again, this is from Moonlit, and this is from Subliminal. Totally different. So I think those are the only ones that I could compare in these palettes together. Again, hopefully you guys could see that. Now let's move on to the next palette, which I don't think there's going to be any dupes, and it's from the bronze palette. Let me just get a napkin real quick. I should have took it out, but so we're going to do the bronze, and like I said, I don't think there's going to be any dupeable shades just because it is the bronze palette and those have more of goldy tones, I would say. But let's still take a look and then I could show you guys. And then again, this is what the packaging looks like for the bronze, and this is the Mothership number 5. And I don't like how the cards are not together with the palette, but so again, let's go ahead and compare. So this is the Moonlit, and this is the bronze, and I have not yet played with the bronze palette yet. I did get the bronze palette when Pat McGrath had that glitch on her website, but this is what it looks like side by side. And yeah, I don't think there's gonna be any dupeable ones. This one over here, this purple one, is called Extreme Aubergine, and this one is more purple compared to this one in the Moonlit palettes compared to both the two. This one is more purple, I would say, and this is like a mauve color, or like a red color. I'm sorry, not mauve, more red. So yeah, those two are different. So I'm not gonna swatch from bronze. Now let's move on to number 7, which is Divine Rose. Looks like that. Now I know there's gonna be some comparable ones in this palette. I think this is the part everybody's been waiting for. And then again, I'll go ahead and do side by side. And this is what this looks like. See if I can get a little bit closer. So I'm definitely going to compare. Let's do the ones that I think automatically, oh, these look similar. This one is from the Divine Rose palette, this one right here. I'm going to compare. This one is in the shade Astral Solstice. I'm going to compare this one with the shade in Moonlit, and it is called Platinum Dusk, which is like the more silver tone color, which is this one right here. These ones look similar when I look straight at it in person. And then let's do this one. Oh yeah, this one's totally different. These feel Oh yeah, they not only feel different, but they look way different. So this one is from Moonlit, and then this one is from Divine Rose. You could totally tell different. Yeah, so those are not comparable. Let's see, what else can we do from this palette? You would think that the rosy ones in the Moonlit are comparable to the Divine Rose one, but they're not. So I'm not even going to, or you know what, maybe I'll swatch this one down here from Divine Rose with this one from Moonlit, the Moonlit palette. So let's go ahead and do that. So for the Moonlit palette, that one is in the shade Rosewood Romantique. And then from the Divine Rose palette, which one did I say? This one. This one looks more rosy on camera than it does in person for some reason. But we'll go ahead and swatch it. And that one is Extreme Mahogany. I think these are going to be, yeah, these are totally different. The one from Divine Rose is more brown, and this one is more rosy tone from Moonlit. But I'll go ahead and swatch it. Oh yeah, these are way different. So I had to do it on my knuckle, but this one is from Moonlit, and then this one is from Divine Rose. So these are really different from each other. So I think those are the only ones that we can compare from Divine Rose. Now let's go ahead and move on to Divine Rose number 2. And let's see if there's anything comparable to that one. I'm gonna have to fix these because I'm just pushing them off to the side. But this is Divine Rose 2. And then after this one, we'll have one more palette to compare. And then I do have it in the limited edition packaging. So this is Divine Rose 2. And then this is Moonlit. So definitely we have some shades in here that we can compare. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is, let's see. If I look at it like this, there's a few that I can compare, but not quite. You could tell that there's different finishes, but let's just go ahead and do it for the sake of the video. I'm going to go ahead in the Moonlit palette. I'm going to go ahead and swatch these two again because there are some colors. And like I said, that is Rosewood Romantique and Plum Cabaret. Swatch that. And then I'll swatch the one from Divine Rose 2. This shade again. And this is in the shade, what shade is this? Extreme Burgundy. And that's, ooh, these two look pretty similar, but the one from Divine Rose 2 is a little bit more darker, and then that one is from Moonlit. So you could tell that they're a little bit different, but they are not the same. Again, I'll go ahead and swatch it. Oops, I did this backwards. Oh yeah. The one from, this one is from Divine Rose 2, and then these two down here are from Moonlit Seduction. That's what it's called, right? Moonlit Seduction? I hope I'm not saying this wrong. But anyways, yeah, so these are from the newer palette, and then this one is from Divine Rose 2. This one is darker. This one would be, like, I would say this was dark. This is the lightest shade, then this would be the middle, and then this would be the darkest shade. But those look really nice next to each other. So, but not dupes. Let's see if there's any more shades in these palettes that I can compare real quick for you guys. I'm gonna go ahead. I don't see anything else. The golds on both of these palettes are different from each other. So I'm not going to swatch it. These are pretty different. I just really wanted to compare these two shades to the shades in Divine Rose 2. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next palette. And then finally, the last palette I have is Mothership number 9. And that is, which one? I forgot which one, what this was called. Utopian Dreams. And then this one is the newest one in my collection. Actually, no, that's a lie. This is new in my collection, so I haven't been able to play with it. It's not the newest one, but it was for a while. So that is what the two look like compared next to each other. Actually, these look pretty similar. The Utopian Dreams have a lot of colors that I want to compare from the new palette, from Moonlit palette. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. But first, I'm going to go ahead and erase these swatches real quick. Okay, so these two, I kind of swatched them too close together. But these two are from the Moonlit palette right here. And then these four, this one's swatched kind of bad, but 1, 2, 3, 4. This looks nothing like these two, so you could just forget about that one. But the first three, I feel like this one right here, the last one, is comparable to this one. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to re-swatch that one again. We'll do it on this hand just because I don't want to take too much time. So oh, they look different on the finger. So this one is from Moonlit, and then this one is from Utopian. Okay, maybe I swatched the wrong one. Let's see. Oh no, they look different. Yeah. So they're kind of similar, but not quite. Let me go ahead and show you this one. This one. I forgot which one this one, but I know it's from Utopian Dreams, but it kind of looks like this one. But no, when I bring it closer, this looks more red undertones, and this one has more brown undertones. I don't know if you could tell. I could tell. But yeah, so those are not complete dupes, but they are kind of similar. So overall, I will say that out of the Motherships that I do have, there is no dupeable shades. Let me look at it one more time to see if maybe there's another shade that I could swatch. But yeah, I don't feel like there's any more dupeable ones, especially they might look the same in the palettes, like color wise, but the finish of them are different. So yeah, that's what it looks like. But yeah, I don't think any of my palettes are dupeable to this one, but I still stand by what I said. This is my favorite Mothership palette. So okay guys, that is everything for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video on the brand new Pat McGrath Mothership Moonlit Seduction palette. I think it's called Seduction. I keep on saying Seduction, so yeah, it does have Seduction in there. I keep on thinking it's not, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget, if you haven't already, to subscribe to my channel. And until the next time, I will catch you guys later. Bye!